I do feel like data hoarding is like a thing.
It is. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely am a data hoarder. It's a problem.
Nina's just like, I can't believe that I'm watching Venom for a third time. And I'm like, what? What's wrong with Venom?
I hate Soulja Boy, but at the same time, I love him. Can we talk about brothels again? You guys think the iCarly house was plotted by NASA?
You know what? I've been thinking about it a lot recently for
I hate it. It's
no
so
reason
true.
at all.
What? So what's the issue with this take? Like I saw you post it and I don't.
You don't have a problem with it?
Nah, dude. His dad was like Air Force or some shit. Sure, why not? Like,
No,
I don't know.
Their dad was in the Navy because he was on a submarine.
Pretty sure he was the Air Force.
No, he was on a submarine. Maybe he was in the Air Force, but either way, he was in a submarine.
He is a colonel in the United States Air Force and currently on a tour of duty in a United States submarine, which is so we are both correct.
I
feel like they
fucking stupid as hell.
That is so
I
dumb.
get to say this because, and this is the only time I may ever pull this card, I don't think they put Air Force people in the submarine.
I don't think they do.
Never taught me shit about a submarine. I was never told about a submarine.
I gotta say, I don't think they do. I think this show might just be full of bullshit.
Whoa!
Yeah, I mean,
not
we all just accepted it because we were children. We didn't know any better.
I mean, there's probably like a couple Air Force people. They're like, you gotta go on a submarine, man. They're like, man, I didn't join the water force. And they're like, yeah, but you still gotta go.
You know, I feel like we are getting distracted though, because there's a question here, and that question, incredibly important as it is did NASA design their apartment?
Yeah. So the question is, people are like, I don't understand the layout of the iCarly apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, who's paying for the iCarly apartment?
One of those questions is easy to answer.
All of these are wrong because the original question is actually stupid because a bunch of tenured professors and NASA employees are paying for that apartment. Yes, to the layout question though.
Yes.
Sorry, our flat Earth friend is mad about the iCarly apartment because he thinks that NASA's paying for it.
It's very funny.
It's a TV show.
Yeah, dude. It is in fact a TV show.
You get to a point where you're so caught up in whatever conspiracy you want to be involved in that everything becomes that conspiracy. And I can't imagine getting to that point about basically anything.
Mm-hmm.
Especially not iCarly. Like, imagine looking at the iCarly apartment and being like, it's all a NASA pyramid full of scientific information no one knows about. It's a theory, it's a conspiracy, but NASA's paying for the iCarly apartment.
Yeah, like, of all the stances to take, why would you decide to take that?
I won't lie to you. I do kind of envy that like level of madness. Like it feels like
it's gotta be so freeingly numb.
It really does. Like it feels like it would be so much easier to go through life and just be like, NASA conspiracy on this one. I'm feeling NASA conspiracy.
I feel like it's as mentally liberating as like people who talk about doing hallucinogenics feel about hallucinogenics.
Yes, exactly.
They just have to stop. You get to stop caring about anything else and only talk about the one thing that you care about.
Yeah.
And then you can bring everyone else into that realm and wrap everything together with that one thing and never have to encounter something outside of what you've established again.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're only partially joking on this. I truly like.
Yeah, no, I'm being serious.
Yeah, I really do think there is like a freedom in that. Like that sounds like it would be a lot easier of a world to live in.
Yeah, it's just a false world and it means nothing and it's rooted in white supremacy.
Well, of course. But
yeah.
It's easier.
Sure, but not for the people that are still being hurt by your mentality.
Well, sure. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
People should be taken into consideration.
I agree, and I'm not saying it's a good thing by any stretch. I'm just saying it's an easier. My whole take was just easier mindset to like handle. Like you don't have to.
Just you get to blame NASA for everything.
Yeah, like that just feels like it would be
including iCarly.
Dude, I wish that NASA was responsible for iCarly. I wish that was the world we live in.
You know who else is unbearable and talks about things too much?
Star Wars fans?
That's right. People who like room temperature water.
Yeah, that's true.
So this will come up later as well. I actually was at Noah's house yesterday.
It's true. Mm-hmm. He was.
He didn't even know for at least 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I was at Noah's house and he was like, do you want he's like, would you like some water? And I was like, sure. And he's like, cold or room temperature? And he had a Brita pitcher on the counter. I was like, oh, that one's fine.
You know, so I poured him out a room temperature filtered water. And
Yeah,
I
and
thought that was the end of the moment because I'm like, there we go. Cool.
yeah,
I've done it. I've
and
done
and
the
it
thing.
was for the most part, but people who only drink room temperature water because they are like it's actually easier for your body to extract the hydration out of it. Just shut up, man.
Yeah, dude, I gotta agree with you on that.
Like, it's fine. I like room temperature water. I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's easier for me to just get like the cold tap out of the sink, which is usually not that cold. And then just drink that. It's easier than getting anything out of the fridge. Because I have a well, so like I don't have to worry about, like the water from it's good. So
Mhm.
I don't have to like filter it or anything. And like, yeah, that is fine. But I feel like room temperature water people are like, oh, you don't drink room temperature water? That's actually suboptimal for your body's digestion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Neat. Sure is, fam.
Sometimes I like an ice cube. I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
See, something that I've noticed too is you get people on the other side of it though who are like, actually, drinking cold water helps you lose weight because your body has to warm the water up before it can fully use it.
Imagine.
And that helps burn extra
Okay.
calories.
That's intense.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a bad reason.
I
It's the people
love...
that get into like that the hyper micro like pseudo health stuff where it's like, yeah, I keep my apartment. Now I realize this is gonna sound like what I do, because I also keep my apartment super cold, but it's not. So bear with me here. The people that are like, I keep my apartment super cold year round because that way my body has to warm me up all the time, and that burns calories. And then I also make sure that I like drink cold liquids all the time so that it helps burn calories, and I only eat like chunk raw vegetables. But then they'll also justify going
Chunk.
out and eating like McDonald's and be like, yeah, you have to shock your system every now and then to make sure it's awake.
My God.
That's incredible. I have never met someone like that because I think I would punch them.
I think that's
No, yeah,
the
you
appropriate
should.
reaction. I think that's how we should deal with people like this. That is a thing we should do.
I just like, it's cool if you want to optimize your life and talk to me a little about it if I care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I clearly do not care and didn't bring any of it up, stop.
Mhm.
Please cease.
I also
yeah.
keep my house very cold for most of the year and very hot for the other part of the year because I just don't use like heating or air conditioning more often than not because it just is it just always annoys me to use.
Mhm.
So I usually opt to just be really cold or really sweaty. And it's stupid and shouldn't be the way people do anything, but I can't get myself to get up and do anything to help myself ever.
Yeah.
So as a result, I am frigid in the winter and stifled in the summer.
I'm very sorry for you. Truly.
It's fine. Right now, this is the optimal time of the year because then I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty nice.
I've been thrilled because I can wear my hoodie again.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
There's nothing that I love more than wearing layers. I don't know what it is, but layers are just like nice.
They're also fashionable.
Well, I mean, yeah, if that's the direction you want to go with it, I suppose.
I don't read that much into it.
I like layers because it makes me feel thin.
Ooh, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
There you go.
I also have suffered from the layers this season because I've got one hoodie, but it's my Northern Line hoodie and it's really comfy and embroidered and I like it. So I've been wearing that, and all of my like dozens of sweaters and cardigans are just sitting there because it's still a little too warm for them.
Yeah, it's a little tiny bit too warm for sweaters. Absolutely.
It's okay for a hoodie, but it's just like 5 to 10 degrees too warm for like a sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not walking out there in a wool roll neck. I'm
No.
just like a clown. It's 63.
Yeah. No. You gotta space that out. You gotta have the right outerwear for the job.
But I feel like I just need like another hoodie. But I feel like if I get more hoodies, then my other outerwear will suffer even more.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I feel like that's what you do is you get your hoodie and you're like, this is my hoodie and this is like a piece of my aesthetic now, and just only ever wear one hoodie. That's what I do.
I cannot do that because I just love some of my like other sweaters and such too much. Like my one that I got at the Salvation Army, that was 100% a women's sweater, but it's like 3XL, so it fits me. Because it had shoulder pads that I had to take out that were attached by Velcro.
Nice.
That's amazing.
And it was made by it was an exclusive of the Home Shopping Network.
That's
it has
such a gift.
embroidered log cabins on the front of it. The buttons have acorn tassels, and there are like little embroidered fish on the sleeves.
That's amazing.
It is the most amazing, comfy looking cardigan in existence. And I just put it on and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
this
like
is what I want.
I'm like a character in a film that lives in the mountains, but not one of like the mountain men, like a writer who lives in the mountains, like not one of the tough characters, but there.
You do technically live in the mountains, but it's really more of like an aesthetic thing, not a I am rough and rugged.
It's more of a, well, this is just where I live. I'm working on a project. But anyway, it's a lovely cardigan.
It does sound amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And it did come with shoulder pads.
I'm disappointed that you took the shoulder pads out, to be perfectly honest.
They looked really weird.
I'm not disappointed. Shoulder pads are bad, like across the board.
Shoulder pads are bad.
Damn. I don't know. I feel like you're wrong, but I don't know enough about shoulder pads to disagree with you.
How could you ever try and claim shoulder pads are a good fashion thing?
If you are a woman in the 80s, shoulder pads were fashionable.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not been a thing really in any other like fashion that I'm aware of. I mean, I guess like suits and stuff do have shoulder pads to an extent in them. But I think that's more for like to protect the material than it is to make. Well, it probably does want to make your shoulders look bigger because people who wear suits suck. They're like, my shoulders have to look bigger. Okay, why? Because I can do business better. Why? People shake your hand better if you have shoulders that are larger?
Honestly, though, people do like to do everything they possibly can to look like a propaganda cutout man in a suit.
It's insane.
I don't have the beef against suit people that you do, and I know Dan is very pro suit people.
I am, which is why I'm keeping my mouth shut.
I just feel like I talk to suit people, and I'm like, man, you really think the 50s were great, don't you?
You don't understand. You just need to watch Mad Men, and you'll fully get it.
I've watched Mad Men. Don Draper sucks ass.
He does.
That's his whole thing. His point is being bad, and people look at him and they're like, I want to jerk off to that. I love him. Get over yourself. He's supposed to suck.
Honestly, and I've only watched a few episodes so far because I stopped so that I could watch with Nina. I don't know why so many people watched that show and their takeaway was that Don Draper was the coolest guy on planet Earth.
Yeah,
every single moment
like
is him messing it up. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he does have some cool, like he has some very, very cool character moments, but it's so much like Jeff Winger in Community. Like he is not perfect. He just really wants you to think that he is, and the fact that you think that he is means he's winning against, like his propaganda is being sold to you effectively. Because like if you actually watch Community, I remember when I was like 14, 15 and Community was coming out, watching it, be like, man, this Jeff guy is so cool. And now I'm like, yeah, no, he's just as big a fuck up as everybody else, if not more so.
I think it's actually pretty easy to argue that he's definitely more fucked up than the rest of them.
Oh, I think so too.
Like, I think it's a very easy argument to make. Like,
well, Pierce exists.
Well, that's true. Pierce does exist. Unfortunately,
now, honestly,
Your Honor, Pierce.
Every time I talk about Community with people, I feel like I have to let them know that no, that's not Chevy Chase acting. He actually is like that, and he just happened to land in the perfect role for him, which is not good.
Although, apparently, the reason he ended up leaving the show was because he was like, now this role is getting bad. Like, it took him like 4 years to be like, actually, this role is not very good right now.
Oh, yikes.
I heard that he was removed from the show because he was too racist.
Oh, he was having like problems with like Dan Harmon. And also,
which I gotta say, if you are too racist for Dan Harmon,
that's saying something.
Yeah, Dan Harmon is not a great dude either, to be perfectly honest.
But he inspired my favorite song.
Wow, which one?
Oh wait, let me guess. Is it Rick and Morty by Soulja Boy?
Damn, that's crazy, dude.
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Slaps.
It's so dumb. I hate Soulja Boy, but at the same time, I love him. Can we talk about brothels again?
Sure. Yeah, you have anything to talk about brothels with?
No, I just was like, is there an update on sex doll brothels?
Nah, dude.
I don't know. Let's find out.
I'm looking it up right now. I probably should have done an incognito tab for that one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check Bing because I feel like Bing is gonna give me the truth.
Oh, futureofsex.net. Let's see what futureofsex.net has to say.
Ooh, the Wikipedia picture for sex dolls is actually really uncomfortable.
I am terrified of sex dolls. I think if I were to go to a sex doll brothel, I'd probably just cry.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
The one in Toronto seems to still be there.
I gotta be honest, I don't like it.
There's
Especially
a shuttered brothels. One of them is just says China. The whole country is a shuttered brothel. I don't know that that's true. I think it's actually a pretty big piece of land. It doesn't look like China will be hosting any sex doll brothels in the near future.
Cowards.
See, I found sexdolls.com/blog/news/sex doll brothels.
I think they're not happening. I don't think they're gonna happen.
I gotta be honest,
Do
I
you
don't
think they
know
just
that they
canceled them?
are.
It's been years that we've been keeping them kind of a little bit on the radar once a year or so.
Do you think that
See, here's
are
the
sex
thing, right?
dolls brothels dead? Like, is it just a dead dream? Should we not
here's
be
my
holding out
thought.
for them?
I feel like if you're gonna go to a brothel,
Mhm.
you're gonna pay less to go to a regular brothel than you will to go to a sex doll brothel.
Interesting.
Is that true?
I think that's true.
Why?
Because so many of these, like the one in Toronto, what is that? Oh, I'm sorry, no, never mind. The one in Toronto
No, we
didn't
will
have
say- We have to agree.
didn't have a
Brothel is a
cost.
funny word.
It
Yes,
is a funny
brothel's
word.
a funny word. Yes.
Let's see.
fact.
Funny word.
Okay,
It doesn't
so-
sound like a place where you go to have sex with people. It sounds like a kind of soup.
Here we go. So in
does
Vancouver,
kinda
it's
sound like a soup.
$350 a night, and you also have to put down a $500 deposit.
In case you break something, presumably.
Yeah, some places it's going to be a little bit cheaper here and there, but like for the most part, you're paying way more money than what I am aware of the cost of a brothel is. This is sounding very incriminating for me at this point.
Yes.
I don't
but
I mean, it's
know,
go
not
on.
a crime to
but
know
like
about brothels.
That's true.
that's true.
It's important to know.
But like with my knowledge of the cost of sex work generally, I don't think that you're going to be putting down $400 across the board almost every time.
Aren't brothels more expensive than just like sex work that you would go out and find them?
Yes.
I would assume.
You're paying for
safety
the
and blah,
hotel room contained within.
Yeah. So like, I feel like with that being said, I feel like brothels got to be a little on the pricey side, right? Maybe not $500 a pop, but like not cheap.
Let's see. This sexdolls.com is saying that most sex doll brothels start at about $100 an hour, but also it's not like it actually provides any
Sources.
there's no sources here.
Source, just trust me, dude.
Honestly, that's kind of what it feels like. A few other points
Wait,
to
there
keep
are-
in mind before you go. Use a condom because they might have an STD even though they're sanitized. Figure out
that's
what you
terrifying.
want before
Made
you
no
go.
for me, dog.
I'm terrified of sex and sex dolls, more so the latter. And I feel like if I went to a sex doll brothel, I would be more scared than aroused because the sex dolls are scary to me. Because mannequins are kind of scary to me.
No,
Mannequins
sex
are
dolls
creepy.
are very, very scary.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I feel like that's probably why it's not taken off because people are like, "This is scary." Actually,
Well, I feel like it also like I feel like culturally we look down on people who go to brothels in general, right? I feel like
I mean, they are
culturally we
illegal
would
in many,
exactly.
many parts of the world.
exactly.
So outside
I
of
feel
the
like,
moral panic, there's also the "I'm better than you because I don't commit crime."
exactly. But I feel like I feel like most people, maybe even myself included, I'm trying to see if I feel like how I land on this as I'm saying it. I feel like I would look down on people even more for going to a sex doll brothel versus a regular brothel.
I gotta be
Right?
honest, that's where I land too.
Like I kind of feel like at that point, dude, just go to regular. It's fine. Like at that point, you're already committing the act. Like just commit. I don't know.
No,
What do
I
you think,
kind of I
Jackson?
get where you're coming from.
And I don't like love that that's my take because I'm kind of like, well, I mean, I'm sure some people that's just better for them or whatever, but like I don't know, dude, just just go get actually laid then. Like I don't at that point.
I think some people are probably just like specifically into it, and I just I mean, I don't know. I guess I just wanted an update on what's been happening because I feel like things 2 years ago they were like, yeah, maybe this is gonna be a thing now, and then now
And
they're
it
like,
never was, yeah. The thing that never was.
eh. But I feel like when we first talked about it, it was like a thing that had like made some waves, and then it has never made another wave since. But every once in a while, I'm reminded. I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about that one time.
I feel like part of the biggest issue with it is if it's not even guaranteed safe.
Yeah, like then really, what is
Then,
the
like,
point?
It's like a fetish thing, probably.
It's gotta
yeah.
be.
At that point,
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. You guys watch Shape of Water, right?
nope.
No?
I have not seen it. No, I know what
Oh.
I know what it is, but I have not seen it.
Well, never mind then.
No,
You
you
can-
sound disappointed.
You can still make the point that you were gonna make. It's okay.
I gotta be honest, I forgot what point I was gonna make.
Nice.
I'm drawing a huge blank on what I was even saying.
Nice
I
job.
literally don't know what happened. My entire brain just flickered.
I only watch movies that should win Best Picture, not ones that do.
Oof.
For example, have you guys seen Venom?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
Honestly, it's phenomenal.
Would
I'm
you say
glad.
it should win Best Picture?
I think it should have twice.
Nice.
2018 and 2019. On the trailer alone. But no, I watched Venom yesterday after getting lukewarm water from Noah.
It's true.
I'm sorry that your experience started bad and just got worse.
I would not.
No, we watched Venom.
Yeah, we watched Venom, dude. I gotta be honest. Venom is just such a good time.
It's such a good time.
When Nina was, we were like prepping for you to come over. Nina's just like, I can't believe that I'm watching Venom for a third time. And I'm like, what? What's wrong with Venom? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, you're the one that told me I should watch it when I watched it the first time. She's like, yeah, but there's a difference between watching Venom twice and watching it 3 times.
Although I feel like watching Venom 3 times, as long as you weren't watching it with people who had also watched it 3 times, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're guiding people through a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But actually, no, I will say I genuinely did enjoy the film.
me too.
I think it's fun, it's stupid, and Tom Hardy really did give it his all. He put his entire pussy into the performance,
He
as
did.
the kids say.
He did.
That's
The
right, I'm
kids do
hip.
say that.
Kids say that, and I know what the kids are saying. Yeah, I think it was a good time. I think that Eddie Brock as a character in the film is just so sad. Like he's just so pathetic.
And he's just so sweaty. I've never
He's
seen a
he's
sweatier
so
man.
dirty. He's just unclean. Even after like he literally like takes a shower, gets dressed, goes to talk with someone, and he's literally just dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he's really just struggling, and I relate to that. He's and like the usage of the line "I've got a parasite" like 3 or 4 times. It just gets me every time. I'm like,
I've got a parasite.
I've
Every
got a
time.
parasite. Because he's just so tired, and he just doesn't want to explain it to people anymore. He just doesn't want to. He's just sick of having to try all the time.
He's like, a parasite? You take that back. And it's like, no. You are, though.
I also like Venom just talking the whole time to him.
Mm-hmm. It's just a good time. I don't know. There's a lot of really stupid stuff to the movie. I don't know how I didn't notice that Mona Lisa was a main character until you pointed that out. And
Which is kind of a main. There's so many instances in the movie where I'm like, oh, this could be a thing, and then it's absolutely just not a thing, never a thing, and it's just they just leave it at that. Like Mona Lisa's character, or whatever the scientist, Dr. Skirth, I think.
I was gonna say whatever her real name is, and not her character from Parks and Rec.
I think it's Dr. Skirth. You're like, oh man,
Dora.
she's gotten
Doris.
kidnapped by the bad guys. What if it's gonna be part of like the plot where Eddie has to like save her, and they're like, no, she just dies. And you're like, oh, that's uneventful, and you're like, oh, I wonder how they're gonna set up for the final confrontation, and then they're just like, no, they just like introduce the bad guy, and then they run after the bad guy, and then they fight the bad guy, and that's the movie. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they don't even like explain at all how. Alright, so this is kind of like spoilers for Venom. So jot that down.
Yeah, if
At
anyone
the
wants
end of
to
the
care
movie-
about that.
At the end of the movie, there's like they blow up the bad guy's spaceship. Instead of actually beating him in a fight, they just blow him up, which is kind of funny because like even in the movie, they're like, yeah, no, we could never beat him in a fight.
Yeah.
So instead of beating him in a fight, they literally just blow him up and then walk away because he's dead. I'm like, well, that's fair. But then Venom's like, oh, I'm dying. Goodbye, Eddie. And then like you're like, oh, cool. I wonder how that's going to get resolved. Obviously, because there's a sequel, Venom doesn't die. It's got to be something else. And then they never resolve it. He's just like secretly there, still. Like they didn't say like, oh, actually he didn't die. He secretly survived just barely. They don't even like address it. They're just like, yeah, Eddie Brock falls in the water and now he's got Venom back.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I do like about that is just out of nowhere. It's like, oh man, this sucks. Oh man, he almost died. And then it's like, oh yeah, but he didn't. And I was actually really confused at the end of the movie. I thought it had ended with Venom dying and Eddie getting to
Same.
move on. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Weird
and then
take, but
suddenly
yeah.
Eddie's just like, we should be with her. Make her leave her boyfriend. And it's like, why is Venom back?
Yeah, because they never addressed that Venom was back. So I think it was supposed to be like the surprise, gotcha, audience. You're happy Venom's back, but it wasn't. It was literally just Venom's voice. So like, it wasn't like a cool, like visual thing at all. It was literally just like a jump scare voice.
Yeah, as
and
you
like
do.
it doesn't really work as a jump scare because no one in the scene was scared by it. Because the only person who heard it was Eddie, who knew that it was possible to happen because he knew Venom was still there, and the other people can't hear it because it's just voice in his head. It just didn't work. And it was weird. Fantastic movie though.
Oh, without a doubt, I'd watch it. I would watch it again today. Not
Venom
because
was
I think it's
exceedingly
good,
wet.
but because I think it's like very enjoyable, and I don't think that I would be tired of watching it yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just the whole time kept thinking of like the, are you familiar with like the green text? It's wet.
No.
So it's basically I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Cursed green text.
It's good. I don't. I don't. Maybe it's not real. I mean, I know that it's real because I've seen it 1,000 times, but no one will ever believe me.
Bro, I swear, the green text, it's real, bro.
Bro,
You
I
just have
swear
to believe me.
the green text.
It's so sad, honestly.
It's wet.
It really makes you think.
I'm getting like weird vor images here.
Ew. No, thank you.
Green text, it's wet. Apparently, is like a cat girl. It looks like actually like a Japanese bobtail cat. Getting eaten by like in an intestinal tract.
Yikes.
That is, those are words that all did come together, huh?
Can't say I'm
That's
pleased
like one of the
about it.
only kind of cats I know. Because it's just got like that iconic color. Look, I swear it's real. In the meantime, Dan, talk about something.
Dan, what you got today?
Something very good. Oh, I got my computer telling me that I am out of hard drive space. So I'm gonna fix that real quick so this episode doesn't get broken. That's what I got. That's what I got going on.
How are you out of hard drive space?
Well, you see, Noah, I don't delete things off my computer as often as I should, and so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terabytes full of garbage all across my computer, across all 4 drives. And my C drive is what everything goes on for my main stuff, and now that is full.
See, that's why I, in a very paranoid fashion, constantly am deleting things.
Honestly, smart. Your biggest brain. I don't know where this file size is coming. I mean, I have a pretty good guess. It's because fucking... Hold on.
I swear to God, this is a real thing. I just cannot find it.
So my computer has a thing where, for some goddamn unimaginably annoying reason, so I have Xbox Game Pass, and I have downloaded the Master Chief Collection because I'm like, you know what, I would love to play this at some point. I really should. It's a classic series full of classic games, whatever. The problem I keep goddamn running into is that one of these, this one right here, this shitty fuck shit, for some reason, the install files for this goddamn game don't delete themselves after installing. And as such, I have like a couple 100 gigabytes worth of actually useless garbage sitting in the background of my computer on my C drive because it just won't clean itself up. Like, it won't disappear. It just says it's there. And then when I try to delete it, it freaks out at me and is like, actually, no. No, you're not going to do that. And it's very, very, very frustrating. And I don't think there's anything I can do about it, which is the worst part. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do about it because I think it's just going to sit here and say that it's there when it's actually not.
I hate when
Ugh.
games don't clear out their like old files like that.
And well, the problem is if I try to uninstall Master Chief Collection directly, it just bricks. Like it just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try and fix this while we're still rolling, so that I don't have to kill my audio and
This
start
is
recording again.
the saddest thing
I'm
ever
so
because I
annoyed.
know the post is real. I know it's a real thing, and I someone listening has to be aware of this. But anyway, it's like a 4chan post, and I wish I could remember like the context of it because I've seen it like riffed on so many times. But it's basically like someone who's like goes to a hotel, asks the person at the front desk if the room is like dark or wet, I think are the two options. And then she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I explain with a detailed flowchart about whether or not a room is dark or wet. She promises it's neither of those. I go into the room, it's wet.
Amazing.
It's dumb. It makes no sense, but that's how I felt about Venom the whole time. I was like, "Hey, is this Spider-Man dark or wet?" And they're like, "No, I promise." They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Here's my flowchart. Dark or wet? Is the CGI in this movie wet?" They're like, "No, it's not wet. It's just like kind of like Spider-Man." Then I go and watch the movie. It's wet. Venom is wet.
Venom
The whole
is so
time.
wet. Now,
He's
in
so
fairness,
wet.
I don't think I ever told you that he was dry.
No, but like he's wet.
Mhm.
It's wet.
Oh, it's so
It just
wet.
reminds me of the meme that exists. The meme exists. I swear to God, it's real. Someone who is listening right now might be aware of it. If you can find it and prove that I'm not crazy, please do. But also, if you can find it and want me to look crazy, just don't share it. It's fine.
Now, what are you Googling to try and find it out of curiosity?
I can't. I've Googled so many things.
You did
I've taken a class
Google
on search engine optimization and I cannot find it because I don't remember enough of the original post to gather other than the punchline of "it's wet." But if you Google "it's wet," it's not going to show up because it's not a popular enough meme to show up on just like a regular Google search. It's kind of like a little bit of like a niche meme.
and it hasn't.
And
If
I
you
can't remember
Google
if dark was the
green
other
text,
adjective.
dark or wet, it's not there.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's a whole bunch of green text. "Wet dream" is what it says.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to click on that.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
what I was
and I-
finding too.
I think it's also because I'm not positive that it was dark or wet. I'm not sure that dark was one of the adjectives.
All you know for sure is one of them was wet.
I know that like the punchline is "it's wet," and wet was one of the things that was described. And the person behind the counter is like, "No, I promise, it's not wet." And then they go in, it's wet. But I can't remember where they were. Like I can't remember where the original post was. I don't know if it's a hotel or if that's just a way I've seen it spun. And like I feel like I've only seen variations at this point for like the last 6 months. So I can't remember the original anymore. I can only remember the punchline, and I laugh at the punchline when put into other situations.
Is this a new green text or is this like an old one?
Within the year, I think,
Oh
is
my
when it
gosh.
really gained any kind of traction around my knowledge, anyway.
I feel like I never see 4chan stuff anymore, and for that I am grateful. But
I don't really either, except for "it's wet," and I haven't seen the original in so long. I've only seen people making fun of the "it's wet" via like something that's like in another situation, or like using it as a punchline in other areas where water is typically involved. So I don't remember the original context. I got nothing. It's real though. I promise it's real. Venom's wet. That's all I'm trying to say. Venom made me think of that meme. Spider-Man, but it's wet. Dan, have you seen Venom?
I have not. At some point I will, but not today.
Are you gonna watch the sequel?
Honestly, also probably, but
You probably don't need to watch the original. I'm gonna be completely honest.
that's what I've heard. I've heard it's not necessarily something that I need to worry about.
It's got Woody Harrelson playing Carnage.
yeah, that's enough for me.
Or
Honestly,
oh,
that
no, he's actually not playing Carnage. Carnage itself is actually more symbiotic in nature. He's playing Cletus Cassidy. Yeah. I hear your comments. He's playing Carnage. Who's your favorite Spider-Man villain?
I like Sandman a lot.
Yeah, he's Sandman. He's in
Good.
that's the one of the main bad guys in one of the arcs of One Piece is basically Sandman, but he's got a pirate hook.
That's pretty rad. That does make him.
And he wears his coat over his shoulders and doesn't put his arms through.
I feel like that makes him a superior Sandman, if you will.
And his name is Crocodile.
Guys, I made an amazing Spider-Man joke, and it's fine.
What about Spider-Man?
I am a fan of Scorpion.
Scorpion's pretty good.
I just think Scorpion is a fun time.
I think it's a good choice. You know what? I like that.
I'm now seeing that there's a huge number of variations of Scorpion.
Oh, really?
Yep, there's at least 6, according to Wiki. And there's more than one that's a woman.
Really
Look
makes
at
you think,
that.
huh?
No, not really, if we're being honest.
Oh, okay.
That's the One Piece Sandman guy.
Oh my gosh, look at that hook. Look at those rings.
Yeah, he's got a big ass gold hook.
You thought he was?
Yeah, he does have a lot of rings.
Why does
too.
he
What,
look
did you
like
think Jackson was
Candyman?
fucking lying?
He kind of does, but he's Sandy Man.
Oh my god, I hated those words.
I don't like that.
Because he turns into sand.
Fuck you.
Yeah, no, we got it. We all
He
understood.
turns into sand.
Hate you. Get out of here.
I also do not approve of this, for what it's worth.
I think the best thing about One Piece are the environments in terms of the animals. For example, this guy has a whole bunch of pets. They're called banana gators.
Why are they called banana gators?
They're alligators the size of a skyscraper, but they have a banana on their head.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm there. I'm right there with you.
Anime was a mistake. Speaking of
Banana
anime,
gators were
oh
not.
man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go watch an anime and come back next week with a review. The Star Wars anime came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, didn't Trigger do an episode?
A ton of like major studios did episodes. I could not tell you even close to all of them. But I know people were freaking out because it was a lot of like big fucking names in the in like that community, which I think is just neat. It makes me happy to see. Like I really do like, as much as I give anime shit. Like I'm actually really excited to see what these like completely alternate styles do with the platform. I think it's gonna be neat.
Dan likes anime.
It's true. You caught me. You caught me. I can't believe you caught me. So messed up. Also, I am update on the everything is terrible situation. I'm emptying my recycle bin, which is apparently 45.5 gigs and just shy of 200,000 items. So that hopefully will help clear up some space too.
Holy shit, dude.
That's pretty big.
I have a real problem of not like I'm the kind of person where I would rather just go and add an extra hard drive to my computer than have to like sort through and figure out what stuff I want to delete. Like it's so bad. It's genuinely a problem and I'm aware of it. It's also not usually a big enough deal for me to want to deal with, and yet here we are.
I do feel like data hoarding is like a thing.
It is. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely am a data hoarder. It's a problem. It is very firmly I don't want to ever lose track of anything. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast. Because I did not back it all up locally, I lost access to every project / like document / paper that I ever wrote in college, because it was all on my college Google Drive, which got wiped after I was out of college for a little while.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, literally everything, which makes me really upset because some of that stuff was like business plans and like stuff that I did actually want to be able to go back to, and like massive lists of like, oh, here are some contacts that I should probably hang on to. Like just a lot of actually really important like stuff that I just didn't back up because I was like, oh, it's already backed up. It's on the cloud. It won't go anywhere. Yeah, well, here I am. So I am a little bit of a data hoarder, partially because of that, and even more so since then.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no rules against being a data hoarder.
No, there isn't. And I think
I think it's way less harmless than being an actual, like a physical hoarder in terms of like
you mean more harmless,
space
not less
and
harmless.
damage done. Like a couple SSDs, well, that can be a lot of clutter if they really add up. Like if you have an unreasonable amount, like a truly unreasonable amount of data, you could fill up like a milk crate with hard drives.
Yeah.
And that's truly unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when you're at the point where you're like, damn, are you doing okay?
But like if you are again a hoarder of physical clutter, you can fill up a milk crate with newspapers in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's a bit of a thing.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that is a very, very accurate read. I'm very frightened of even the chance that I might lose data, because I don't know, dude. I've got stuff on this computer from like, you know what? No, I've got stuff on this computer from the first podcast attempt we ever did.
I just found that recently, actually.
Yeah, I
thought I had lost
data.
my audio.
Yeah, no. I have the deep lore. I have the deep texts.
I mean, I'm never going to do anything with it. It's not worth using, but
no, but it feels weird to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I probably should just clean out my drives and do like a deep clean on it, but I don't know. I do need this to finish deleting though, because I am actually very concerned because I am watching like in real time as my hard drive slowly fills up more and more as we record this episode, and I don't know why, because it shouldn't even be recording to this drive. I am a concern. I am deeply, deeply concerned. You guys, is this the end of me? Am I done? Am I out of the podcast now that I have no more computer put podcast on?
Yeah, probably.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm glad that you did.
It's so sad.
So can I talk about the hot internet drama of the week?
Please.
Is it that we shouldn't shower? Because I can't do that again.
No, it's not that we shouldn't shower.
Okay.
It's that Chris Pratt is playing Mario.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he is. He
I actually
really is.
I meant to bring this up.
The more that I think about it, the angrier I am about it, right? Because like
that's fair.
I've been seeing, and Nina was saying the same thing, a lot of fan art about Charlie Day as Luigi. And it adds up, right? Like if you are taking Charlie from It's Always Sunny and putting him in a green suit and saying this is Luigi, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I guess.
I am thrilled for Seth Rogen.
And isn't Jack Black Bowser, which is also a phenomenal casting choice.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Like
I gotta be honest. Sorry.
No, I truly have no issues with the casting except for Chris Pratt as Mario. Like it's just a bad choice.
The big problem. It's not like the voice actor who has made his career out of being every Mario character has died.
To be fair,
the man plays Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi.
They did the same thing with Sonic.
Do we know that he was passed up on this though?
That's
because it might also have been one of those things where like, I'm not saying that this is the case, but like, do we know that the voice actor who has played Mario historically wants to in the movie?
He's in the movie though.
That's not the same thing though.
He is in the movie
Maybe
as like cameo roles.
Yeah, but like the
only reason I ask that is because there is a huge difference between playing Mario in a game and recording
an entire movie,
a couple dozen lines, and being the main character of a movie. Like maybe he just doesn't want that,
and that's fair.
I don't know that for sure though. I'm not like saying that's the case.
I'm just spitballing.
Still, Chris Pratt's bad. There's still way better options.
Any better option than Chris Pratt.
So many other options.
He's not even Italian.
I mean, I don't know. Noah and I had this conversation when we were on stream, and while I usually would agree, it's one of those things that I feel like I don't think of Mario and be like, oh yeah, that is an Italian icon. Like it doesn't for me feel important.
Wow.
I still think that's fucking stupid, dude. Like
that's stupid. That's
I'm
Italian
not
erasure.
gonna say that Mario's like a great example of Italians, but also him being an Italian is a core part of his character.
He's very Italian, always has been. And then they make Chris Pratt him? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Give me maybe crisp gabagool.
It's like I don't know. I don't if honestly, if it weren't that it was Chris Pratt and I have my beef with Chris Pratt outside of all this, I don't know that I would care as much that they're making his character or that they like had his character voiced by a non-Italian person because I know his voice actor is not Italian.
That's exactly what I feel like it is for a lot.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where when it comes down to it, there's so many things that are wrong with the casting of Chris Pratt as another voice actor role.
I think the thing about Chris Pratt as a voice actor is he just talks like Chris Pratt.
Yeah. He's a physical actor.
He's not going to be doing a voice. He's just going to be, hey, isn't that Chris Pratt? And then the movie continues.
Yeah.
Like it's not like someone that's kind of I don't mind Jack Black as Bowser because I feel like he's going to do a Bowser kind of voice, and I feel like if he doesn't, it'll be a really big. If it's just Jack Black being like, "Hey, it's me, Jack Black," it's going to be a huge disservice because Bowser's always like, "I'm Bowser," and like that's his thing. He just talks like it. He's just insane and blustering, and I feel like Jack Black can do that, and I really hope he does.
Yeah,
Seth Rogen is funny because he smokes a lot of weed. And is also playing Donkey Kong.
The fact
that's funny.
We are getting Cranky Kong in this movie also
is a gift.
That's special.
Yeah, that's something, huh? I don't know what to expect in the movie, honestly. Because I haven't watched the trailer and I don't really care.
Was there a trailer or did they just release the cast list?
I don't know.
The movie's not getting released until like December of next year.
No, it's actually August. It's on Danny's birthday. I say Danny as if you know who it is. It's my one friend Danny. It's gonna be on his birthday. He was on the podcast once.
Yeah. I thought I read December. Whack. Oh well. Never mind. It's not important.
It very much isn't. But I don't know. I mean, I'm probably realistically, like being 100% realistic, I probably will end up seeing it. I don't know that I will go to see it, if that makes sense.
You know what I was thinking
don't think
about?
I will end up seeing it.
I didn't.
I probably will, since it comes out on my friend's birthday, and we're probably
I
gonna go
would
watch
have thought
it.
the same thing about like the Sonic movie, but I did end up going to see that too. So like,
I didn't see it.
It's fine. Like it wasn't bad. Like I was like
right.
as much as it was like an only okay movie. I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like tonally, it nailed like Sonic the Hedgehog as a tone, which I think was like really important.
Can we talk about the obscene and super offensive shit? Okay, so it's not like the most offensive thing possible, but it's really shitty, and it clearly shows like people's lack of understanding. But the fact that like Idris Elba's playing Knuckles, and there were so many people being like, "Wow, it's just like Ugandan Knuckles."
It's
Fuck
so bad.
you,
It's
dude.
so bad.
He's literally from fucking like Swindon or some shit in the UK, and his parent like his lineage is not even Ugandan. It's just fucking
so
racism.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't even pull that shit and be like, "Oh, it's Ugandan Knuckles." And meanwhile, he's from like Eritrea. I think it's Sierra Leone actually. But like,
no, it's so bad.
Believe it or not, Africa's a massive continent with a whole bunch of very nuanced nations and cultures that exist within it, and ethnic groups that are specific to regions and nations. So it's not fucking Ugandan Knuckles because it's a black man.
Mm-hmm.
It's Idris Elba playing Knuckles because he's an actor.
It's really really bad. Like it's actually the worst thing.
Yeah, that was like that shit pissed me off because the first time I saw it, it was like, oh, his parents are from Uganda. I was like, are they? That doesn't sound right. And then I looked it up. 10 seconds of looking it up, and you can find out, oh, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
You just made that up because you wanted to
be racist,
make a joke about a meme, and it's a racist joke. Like it's like at the end of the day, that's all it is, and that's really shitty. And if you have heard that and you thought that was true, this is me telling you that's not true. That is actually misinformation being spread as a joke because, haha, every person with African ethnicity is from Africa, so we can just say Uganda.
It's what I would call real bad.
Yeah, but yeah, that was
I think it's a very good thing to not like.
I also didn't see the Sonic movie.
That's
and
okay.
I probably won't, or the sequel, just because I just don't really care that much. But
I feel like that's exactly how you should look at it. Like it was fine. Like it really. I saw it in like I think I'm pretty sure that was the day I went and saw like that and like Aladdin and like one other thing all back to back. It was fine. Like I didn't have any issues with it, but it wasn't like, damn, this movie so good. No, it was fine. I as long as my thought is for the Mario, my point for saying that was that as far as like, as I feel like if they just manage to land a decent, consistent tone with the Mario movie, it's going to be also equally fine. Not amazing, but fine. But managing to lock in a tone that actually feels appropriate to the, like, at the risk of like saying it, the deep Mario lore, like I feel like it's going to be.
Yeah, I think if they make a Nintendo Cinematic Universe, I might just break my own legs.
You know what? No, I'm with you on that. I will also break my own legs.
No, yeah.
I am firmly okay with.
Until they try to make a Smash movie and need to make a Metal Gear Solid movie to tie into it, then I'm on board. That sounds sick as hell. I would love to watch a Metal Gear Solid movie because at this point,
might as
honestly,
well be movies anyway.
Like Metal Gear Solid movies sound so amazing because it's basically at this point, like people who literally believe like anything from like QAnon, they're literally just like, man, damn, bro, America really just be Metal Gear Solid right now,
dude.
Shut up.
I would actually very
Shadow Presidency. Okay,
I don't
Ocelot.
like the Metal Gear Solid games. I would instantly go to see a. I would instantly go to see a Metal Gear Solid movie in a heartbeat.
I would adore it.
It would bring me so much joy.
I know. And the worse the casting, the better.
I like it. I like that quite a bit.
Because it's Metal Gear Solid. Like, what are you gonna do? Make it good?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
Like,
but you could make it bad.
You can make it real bad, and that's good.
And that's good. I would love that, but I really don't want a Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
No, absolutely not. I think that's terrible and stupid. But I also, in my heart, I
see it coming.
I see it coming, and I wouldn't like. I would actually be surprised if it doesn't end up happening. To be perfectly honest, like
on a plus side for Nintendo, though, I was thinking about this. Honestly, the Switch is insanely fucking durable.
Interesting. Okay.
I got my Switch right around release day. It's the first model they made. I have done so much shit to it that should not let it still keep working. But the thing is just like unstoppable. It's like 5 years old now. I've left it in my car for like 3 months at a time. I didn't plug it in for almost a year, and it's still just like plugged in and worked. It's just I'm baffled.
The system itself is very durable. I will say the actual like the controllers are not. The controllers are kind of shit garbage. Or at least the ones I have are. They've been giving me a lot of issues.
Yeah,
but the actual like
I will
system
say, I
is
think
really
Joy-Cons,
good.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons are unfortunately like the dice roll. Because again, I've had mine for 5 years and they still like don't even drift. But that's not
very, yeah.
like it really is like
I was gonna say, which is
you
a
roll
miracle.
the dice. It is like some people just like some Joy-Cons are they're just built different.
Yeah, dude, some Joy-Cons are just better, and that's just something we all have to accept and live
I
with.
did see someone who was like, "Man, I can't believe someone's using Joy-Cons in a post-Pro controller world."
Oh, fuck off!
They're like,
Fuck
"Oh, I can't believe someone
off.
uses the console in a handheld mode."
Dude,
Even if I have a Pro controller and I still use Joy-Cons when my Switch is mounted half
yeah,
the time because they're fun. And you put them in the little thing. The little thing's cool.
I play Mario Kart with some people every Sunday. Shout out to all the various OTA crowd that shows up for that. But I literally only ever play with fucking the Joy-Cons. I have no interest in playing Mario Kart with a fucking Pro controller.
Disagree.
I will say the fun thing with the Pro controller is it has tilt controls.
See, my hands are kind of big, and I cannot enjoy playing with the Joy-Cons as much. They're just a little tiny for me, like button layout and all that.
Okay, I accept
so
that.
for that reason, I really, really, really prefer to play with a Pro controller. But I'm also not going to sit here and shit on people who play with the Joy-Cons because they're fine.
Yeah.
I don't
So
have
for
an
that
issue
reason,
with
you're
them.
out.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I like the Joy-Cons, and I just feel like, honestly, if you were to be like, I only use the Pro controller, you actually don't play that many games because literally so many of them aren't compatible. I think they've gotten a lot better now. But when the Pro controller first came out, I got one.
Because why not?
And I was like, man, yeah, because I was like, I could use a controller for it. I like the look of it, and I was like, oh, I had a whole bunch of like Best Buy rewards points, so I was like, yeah, I'll get a controller.
Hell yeah.
I'll treat myself, and so I did, and I was like, man, this is nice, and it just didn't work with like half the games. So they were like, oh, sorry, this doesn't support that yet.
Yeah,
that's kind of fantastic.
Remember when Let's Go, like Pokemon, like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out? They were like, yeah, no, we don't support Pro controller, and I was like, what? Why? They're like, oh, we only support 1/2 Joy-Con. I was like, oh man, these are the worst games ever made.
So you're telling me
they're
not
so
only
bad.
did they not support the Pro controller, which is fine, and I get it, it's stupid, but I get it, but they also didn't even support the good Joy-Con setup?
Yes.
that is
How?
correct.
Still pretty fun overall, honestly, because the games were meant to be like motion control integrated. Which, yeah, it's fine, but it...
I think it's a good way to say it.
I think
like,
you'd use both Joy-Cons if they were attached to the Switch, but when they weren't, you just used one, just like kind of awkwardly.
That sounds right.
And I honestly think it was because they wanted to make it sync with that Pokeball that came with it as a controller.
You know
Oh,
what?
yes.
I loved that thing in
Which I
theory,
have.
and from everything I saw, it was not good.
I have it. It's actually pretty good for that game and nothing
Well, yeah,
else.
that's fair. I wouldn't expect it to be possible to use for something
garbage.
anything else.
It is garbage for everything else. And it also doesn't work on the other Pokemon games because clearly they abandoned the system they did because it was like heinous. So it just literally was for a single game thing. Although apparently it works with Pokemon Go.
Okay.
So you can use it as like a Pokemon Go controller, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm into that.
If I played Pokemon Go.
Oh man, Pokemon Go.
Do either of you remember the old Reddit joke of Pokemon Go?
No.
Oh. Yeah, that was the Pokemon Go subreddit for a hot minute. That was one of the memes because someone kept misreading the subreddit name
That's
and
actually
forgetting what it
pretty
was,
good.
and they come back and be like, I keep forgetting blah, 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 blah. Probably made up, but it made me laugh, so
Fair.
I figured I would ask.
Yeah, that's the one I'm not familiar with.
Fair enough. It's not worth being familiar with if we're being honest, but I don't know. I apologize, guys. I'm really tired today.
Dude, you're fine.
No, it's like I'm struggling.
I was like, I
It's okay.
can't even believe I'm still
I started
here.
watching.
yeah, it has-
Oh, sorry.
No, go off. What have you been watching?
I started watching Bly Manor this week because Mike Flanagan's new series, Midnight Mass, came out, and I've
no
heard
idea what you're
very
talking
good
about.
things. So did you ever hear about The Haunting of Hill House?
No.
Okay, so it was a horror series put out by Netflix, and if you hear that and you say, "Oh, yeah, that's why I didn't watch it," because it's a horror series on Netflix, you are correct. Because that is the mood for almost every single Netflix series that has ever been released. However, Haunting of Hill House was actually really good. It was, I don't remember how many episodes it was. Let me Google that real quick so I'm not talking out my ass.
While you're talking about while you're looking that up, did you guys see? I didn't even hear about it until like super recently. The fucking Cowboy Bebop live action that Netflix is doing.
Yeah.
That's a thing. They're also doing a One Piece live action.
See, I feel like Cowboy Bebop is gonna land. Personally, I feel like Cowboy Bebop would land a lot better as a live action piece.
I totally.
You mean because it's short?
It's a succinct series that is over, has a runtime. I think they already like have done like some live action stuff for it. I feel like they did a play in Japan. I might be talking to my ass, but I feel like they did a stage play.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, that sounds rad.
Yeah, there was a time where like anime adaptations got stage plays fairly regularly.
That sounds amazing.
No, they weren't. But
well, let me rephrase that. Sounds like an amazing time to be alive.
yeah, I can agree with that. They weren't really actually amazing. But I feel like Cowboy Bebop could work. I feel like it's grounded enough. It's actiony enough. Like the action that's been done in Cowboy Bebop was also like has been done in movies.
Because it's very
honestly, for years now.
It's very much like stylized appropriately. It actually because I tried to watch Cowboy Bebop, right? Everyone was like, "This is going to be the anime that you actually enjoy." I did not. I thought it was fine at best, and just didn't like. I watched like a couple of episodes and then just didn't get any further into it. I actually might give the live action a shot. Like I feel like it at least has a shot of being like pretty decent.
I would agree.
I think that's true. I just don't know if I would hold it to too high of a standard because like anime adaptations just seem to like really drop the ball even when they don't have to. Sometimes they drop the ball because you're trying to do Death Note. You can't do Death Note in 2 hours. You can't do Death Note in 6 hours. It's fucking it's really wordy. And the whole reason Death Note is good is because it's so wordy. It's actually pretty easy to execute in a live action format. It's just very difficult to do quickly because you really need to establish characters, motives, and then you need to let them talk it out and talk out their justifications. That's the whole premise of the series. The whole premise is about justifying one's own evil actions. That's the fun of it. And if you do it in 2 hours, you can't do that, and you can't establish any of the cool B plots that wrap up the series. Cowboy Bebop could be done, but in the same way that Ghost in the Shell could have been done, but then they just kind of like made a really uneventful piece of garbage out of it.
All right, so I got my Hill House
that
news.
I watched.
Yes.
So it's based on the book The Legend of Hell House. There's a lot of things that have been based on this. House on Haunted Hill, I believe, is also a take on this story. There was a movie, The Legend of Hell House. I think there were a few other like riffs on it. There's been a few. But this one is The Haunting of Hill House, and it's 10 episodes long. And it involves this guy who flips mansions. He goes in and he does a lot of work to like clean them up and make them functioning again. And then he sells them. And that's like the family's whole bit. And there's some really great themes throughout. There's a lot of moments where you actually have to be a little film literate to like follow. Not to try and be like, you have to have a pretty high IQ to enjoy Rick and Morty. But like, there are moments where like there will be consistent themes that you without a doubt would see someone on Twitter go, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but every time that this happened, this was in the room. And it's like, yeah, dude,
that was the point.
That's the point. But there's a lot of moments like that where like the color red is very integral throughout the show. And every time red is in a scene, it represents like a very specific thing, which is just really fun.
Yeah.
But the suspense that the show built was really incredibly strong. And the show ends on a really like, it has a clean ending that while being a clean ending is not necessarily a happy ending. It just ends very well. And there was a sequel series, which is unconnected, but it's in the same like, it's the same general idea. It's The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is another haunted house show, which if anyone has oh my gosh, all my words fell out there. If anyone has talked to Emma recently, as in like with the last 6 months, she's probably recommended that you check out The Haunting of Bly Manor, because it's also a very good show. And then Midnight Mass came out recently, which is the third series, also directed by Mike Flanagan. I assume that it's connected in the same way that like The Haunting of Hill and The Haunting of Bly are like, they're not actually connected, but it's like his series. So in my mind, they are like that, but I don't know if
Interesting.
it's real. But yeah, Bly Manor, I'm halfway through right now, and there was the same kind of like gut punch moment about halfway through the series in this one that there was in Hill House, and I'm really here for it. I think I have like 5 episodes left. I'm going to try and finish those up today.
That actually sounds like a good time.
No, it is good. I know that you're not a fan of scary things.
I am, in fact, not.
I think if you were able to get past that, I think you would enjoy these series a lot. But I also would say if that's something that even a little bit you're like, yeah, I'm not sure if I can do that, I would not push for it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's one of those things that I'm always like vaguely interested in, just on like a conceptual level. Like I think it's really interesting to find like these things that people that are like there are so many pieces of not cinema. There's so many pieces of cinema that are phenomenal and also are horror movies or horror movie adjacent or thrillers or whatever that I really need to at some point just get over myself and go see kind of thing. But it's easier to say that than to actually go and commit to it.
I feel like it would help if you had someone who is like picking you a list of movies that they think you would like, but also were there to like sit down and watch it with you.
This is Noah just trying to pitch me on fucking doing another horror movie podcast. I see this. I'm not confused.
I do not want another horror movie podcast. No, I'm pretty good with what I've got going on right now. But if we
wants to do 3 podcasts
within any sort of time to each other, I think it would be really fun to get together once every few weeks and watch a movie that you probably would not have watched by yourself, but I think that you would like.
That's fair.
It's the season for it coming up here, you know.
It's true.
Is this episode coming out in October?
No, it comes out in September 30th.
Okay,
it's not quite
fucking bogus.
So I don't think there's any visuals released for Netflix's One Piece. I just tried to look into it. Although it does seem like they're gonna try and do it, the whole thing.
My God, that is what I would call a.
They've got the creator as an executive producer.
What the hell?
So Oda, the guy who created One Piece, and they're starting with the East Blue Saga, which is the first one. The only visual I could find, I'm almost positive isn't like there's no way it's real. Let me drop the image in the chat here. No, you can put it on the screen.
I won't do that, but I am excited to see the image.
Yeah, that's fair. Which like I don't think this is it because this doesn't really make sense. But this is the image. First of all, the number one thing I love about it, Chopper's there, who's my favorite character. But he's also a real fucking reindeer. They were just like, yeah, no, he's just a reindeer now. A real one.
I don't understand the context of, but I am confused.
So Chopper is the best character in One Piece. He's got immense swag and he's cool. He's just a little guy. Yeah, I'm gonna show a picture of Chopper for you. His name's Tony Chopper. His first name is Tony twice.
Fucking hell. I hate that.
That's how Italian
I hated that. I hate that I giggled at that.
He's just a little guy, and he is honestly, he's fucking adorable. This is him. He's just fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I've seen this character before.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
So they just turned him into a whole ass reindeer.
His whole story is that, so everyone gets like their powers from eating devil fruits. So like, for example, the main character Luffy ate the gum fruit, and that's why he became
Stretchy boy?
Rubbery. So that's why he's stretchy. Chopper was a fucking reindeer, and he ate the one that makes you a person. So now he's like he's like a godforsaken amalgamation of reindeer and man. And like, as a result, he's been forever ostracized by all communities, and then he became a pirate, and it's amazing. He's also a very talented medical doctor.
I was so not ready for that to be the deep lore for that. Oh God.
Yeah, no, he's a medical doctor who ate a fruit that makes him a human, but he was really just a normal reindeer. just grazing, and he came across the fruit and ate it, and now he's fucked up forever.
That's so
amazing.
fucking funny.
I adore him. He's
That's
nice.
so good. My God.
What a way to
Yeah,
end
that's,
the episode.
Yeah, I feel like
Holy shit.
One Piece has some things about it, huh? It
It
really does
is
have some facts.
It really is a One Piece of a time.
We really did have a One Piece.
I hate that that information alone makes me want to watch One Piece, but I also know
He's
that there's
phenomenal.
like 7,000 episodes, and I do not want to do that. You know?
There's actually, this is a life hack One Piece fans won't tell you. If you don't want to watch it, they make a movie for every arc that you can watch in 2 hours that goes over the plot developments of that arc, so you can catch up in like quickly.
So you're telling me that I can skip over
You
like
can watch like
everything up until modern day if I really wanted to, and then keep up live?
yeah, you can skip like 900 episodes if you just want to watch like a dozen movies.
Man,
That does
I
not
gotta be
sound like a
honest,
good
for
choice.
just a hot second, I'm like, hell yeah, that's not bad. And then you're like, a dozen movies?
And
Think
all
of the time you would save though. You watch like one of them every couple weeks, and you can catch up. pretty quick.
But think of the time that I saved by not getting into One Piece at all.
yeah.
Oh, that's an immense amount of time.
yeah.
It's so
Quite a
much
bit of
time. I could honestly, with all the time I save, I could probably watch like One Piece or something.
Exactly. Don't watch One Piece. It's not that good. It's just kind of fun.
Is that another thing One Piece
And it gives
fans
me-
won't tell you?
Yeah, they won't tell you not to watch it. I have watched like over 150 episodes in like 2 weeks now.
It's a lot.
I'm making progress.
How often do they do the thing where they just eternally have to delay things because they're trying to stretch the show out? Do they ever have
Oh, they
like
don't really.
the Naruto like charging up my power episodes? I guess is what I'm asking.
No, they don't really do filler.
Okay. You know what? That is-
There's
I
probably
respect
in the
that,
whole
and that
of the
also
show. There's
terrifies me.
probably like 50, 60 filler episodes throughout the show, which is it does a lot, but there's 900 episodes.
That's so frightening.
Yeah, I mean the manga's just so old. The show's been out for like 20 years now. You know,
That's
Yeah.
so much
it's
time.
a lot of time for one stretchy boy to just go on an adventure.
He really did have
And make
I was
friends
gonna say,
along
he
the
really
way.
did have a stretchy boy adventure of a time. Yeah, it's Halloween time. I'm done here. It's almost Halloween. I'm done here.